There we go. There's a fish. There's a fish. I got him.
Alright, so it's the night before I'm heading out to go fishing, and a lot of people ask me what kind of conditions I'm looking for, and there's all kinds of different stuff, tides, wind, swell, all this stuff. But there's this website that boils all that information down and gives you one score on if the day is going to be good or bad for fishing. And tomorrow, the score for the beach that I'm headed to is 87 out of 100, which is pretty dang good. That's a B+, definitely higher grade than I typically get on any of my tests when I was back in school. But anyways, I'm heading to the beach tomorrow because tomorrow's supposed to be a good day for fishing, so we'll see you out on the beach. More information on this website here in a bit. And here we are. Nice foggy morning this morning. And the website wasn't lying. Conditions look really good right now, so I need to start getting my line in there right away. I feel like there's gonna be some perch hanging out right in this little hole behind me here. So I'm gonna start off with this Carolina rig. This is a similar setup. Well, actually it's the same setup that I used in my last perch fishing video. We're actually gonna sharpen this hook really quick. And then once I do that, I'm gonna put on a little plastic grub. I think I'm gonna start with this one. Let me show you. A little motor oil color with that paddle tail. That one did really well for me last time. And I had a lot of fun with the grub here, working it in the shallows. So I think we can make that happen again today. So let's get our hook sharpened. We want to make sure we have a really sharp hook on there. And then start casting. And then one other thing I want to do today is fill up this thing right here. And what this is a perch pouch. This was designed by another fellow surf fisherman down in Central California, Hook to Cook. If you haven't checked him out, he's got a YouTube channel as well with a lot of good surf fishing videos. But anyways, I've had this for a long time. I think there's actually a newer version of this that's more improved. But this is the OG version, the V1, as you would say. And I'll show you some of the benefits of using this guy. But yeah, let's clip this on. So it's got these nice little loops right here to clip onto your wading belt. So if I do that now, put that there, and it's hanging right here on my side, right on my left hip. So I'll talk about this a little bit more later once we fill it up with some fish, but first things first, we're gonna catch some fish. So let's start dunking right in there.
First cast. Missed a bite, but one thing that I did change is there's a little bit of seaweed in the water, not a lot, but just enough to make it kind of a pain if I was to work a plastic grub back and forth. So I just switched over, just put a little sand crab on this thing. Same setup, still working the Carolina rig, but I think the sand crab's gonna work a lot better this morning. So switching up a little bit, but I definitely think there's some fish in here waiting for me. There we go, there's a fish. First one of the day. Doesn't feel very big, but it's a start. And not bad. Not super tiny, but also not quite worthy of a keep in my humble opinion. There's no minimum size on these barred surf perch, but they gotta be a little bigger for me to keep, so I'm gonna toss this one back and get a little bigger. All right, see if we can get a bigger one now. Well, we found some fish. Unfortunately, that's the kind of size we're dealing with right now. Close. Almost there to the personal minimum requirement, but not really. Just maybe a touch bigger than the first one. This one's fat though. It's definitely got some. Definitely been feeding on some sand crabs. All right. Well, back to the grub. Not exactly the size that I'm looking for, but the fish. before we continue on, let me tell you a little bit more about that website I mentioned at the beginning of this video.
It's called fishnotify.com, and basically what it does is designed for surf fishermen, and it takes all of that data that's out there. It takes swell, tides, different weather conditions, and boils it all down into one score. So from 0 to 100. 100 meaning it's going to be the best day of fishing of your life, and 0 meaning don't bother, don't waste your time, you're definitely not going to catch any fish. So let me show you how it works.
So once we get to the homepage via the link down in the description, you can type in your area. You can be as broad as the Bay Area itself or as specific as any single beach. And once you get to that beach or area, it'll show you different things like wind speed, tide, stuff like that. And if you scroll down a little bit more, here's the rating system that I was mentioning earlier. If you keep scrolling, you can get more information. It gets more into depth on each single day. So for this particular day, low tide, high tide, wind speed, swell height, all that different stuff. You can get as specific as you want or as general as you want.
Super convenient little tool to use. If you're getting into surf fishing and you don't really know what to look for, this is great for you. It does all that hard work. And even if you've been surf fishing for a long time, rather than look at all different websites, you can just go here and it'll give you all that data all in one place. And it's totally free, so you got nothing to lose. Thank you again to Fish Notify for sponsoring this video. I'll definitely be using it. I'll leave a link down in the description. Hopefully it helps some of you catch more fish. All right, let's get back onto the beach.
Oh, there's a good one. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. Stay on there. Stay on there. Oh, that's not a surf perch. Or, I mean, it's not a barred surf perch. So I believe that right there is a pile perch. You'll either have to confirm or correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but it's got that forked tail, a couple of like faint bars down the middle. And he fought pretty good actually. I thought it was a bigger perch than what he is, but took a sand crab. Usually these are more common near structure, whether it be like rocks, jetties, piers, something like that. But you know, every once in a while I guess they're cruising sand as well. So let's get this guy back in the water. And I think these get a little bit bigger, or a lot bigger than this, but not totally sure. I don't catch these very often. Never really targeted them specifically. But anyway, here he goes. Here he goes.
That was fun for a little while, but as you can see, this thing's still empty. So I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Let's see what time it is. I feel like it's lunchtime. I also didn't eat breakfast, so it's only 11 o'clock. Well, we'll go grab a bite to eat, whether it's lunch or breakfast. I guess it's brunch. I have a little bit of a different plan, so we're gonna change it up a little bit.
All right, here we go. Chocolate croissant for breakfast. Hopefully this brings me some luck.
All right, just downed a chocolate croissant to get re-energized. Now we're back out here, and we're doing something a little bit different now, targeting a totally different fish. So we have a drop shot, which is the weight on the bottom, and then about a foot up off the bottom, I have a little fluke there. And we're gonna hop this along the sand. I can already tell there's gonna be some seaweed in the water, so we're gonna have to work through that. But that's one reason why I have that bait up off the bottom. I feel like that'll, even if it drags and that weight catches some seaweed, at least my bait will be a little bit above it, and you know, it's definitely gonna catch some seaweed along the way, but ideally it'll be a little bit less than if I was just dragging that right on the bottom. We're no longer targeting surf perch. We're now targeting most likely halibut, possible striped bass as well. Striped pearl will eat this definitely, but mainly halibut.
Oh, that's a fish. I think this is a bat ray. I initially thought it was seaweed, but now that it's taking line, I'm pretty sure that's a bat ray. This could be a while. Look at it taking drag. Oh, it's gonna spool me. I'm running out of line. No, 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 come back. Come on. Gotta put the pressure on. That was close. Getting down to the end of my spool. I was down to the braid where I put, oh, there it goes again. Yikes. I don't like this. I put like a few wraps of mono on the bottom of my spool so that the braid can stick. And I'm down to that right now, so I'm pretty sure there's a bat ray. But either way, it'd be nice to get my setup back. Hopefully we endured the biggest of runs, hopefully. Oh no. No, no, no. No, 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 come back. Oh no. Oh, it's gonna spool me. Oh, come back. I just gotta put a lot of pressure on it. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Oh, oh my god, it's so far out there. Oh. That was really close to spooling me. I literally could see the bottom of my spool. Probably had like 4 or 5 wraps of line left, which is probably like a foot. But now we got it back in the surf zone here. My arm is starting to hurt. Another thing that makes it harder with bat rays is a lot of times, well, other things that makes it harder with bat rays is if it's a big fish, regardless of how big it is, once you get the nose pointed towards you, like you can definitely bring it, it'll cut through the water a lot easier. But bat rays, they're not shaped the same. It's like bringing in a parachute. Even if they're not fighting at all, even if they're not fighting at all, it's still really hard to bring them in. Oh my god, it's huge. Look at that thing. Thing might be over 50 pounds. All right, come on, wave, help me out. Oh, we got it on its back now. Okay, so no teeth on these guys, but you do have to watch out for that stinger in the back. Very, very potent. So let's see if we can just get the hook out as easy as possible. Hook's out. There he is. There's a look at him. I don't know. I think it's probably around 50 pounds. It's hard to say. But I'm just gonna flip him over and get him back on his way. Oh, there he goes. I know it's not the best release, but he'll figure out how to get back upright. Yeah, monster stinger on the back. I know it's not the best release, but he'll figure it out. Make sure he doesn't wash back up. Oh, there, he flipped back upright. Now he'll be able to get out. You can see the wings kind of sticking out there. Oh man, that was fun for about 30 seconds, and then the rest was just a pain. All my knots held up. 30-pound fluoro, that Ahi GT4 fluoro, and hook didn't bend out. Yeah, all the knots held up, line held up. I'm tired, but okay, well, hopefully that's a warm-up to something a little bit smaller. Looking for a flatfish, but a little bit smaller and brown on the top, not black. Oh, 1 hour in, nothing. 2 hours in, still nothing.
And that's 3 hours. No fish. Well, I guess I did hook foul hook that monster bat ray. So not totally nothing, but really nothing that we're looking for. So kind of a bust this afternoon, but I'm determined to catch some fish to fill up that perch pouch. But I'm not gonna fill it with perch. I'm gonna head out tomorrow morning and see if I can fill it with something a little bit bigger. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. We're back. Today, I got the dunking set up. Bait, I'm gonna be tossing some sand crabs. I just got a couple of nice juicy ones right here on my way out here. And normally, if I was fish or striper, I do like to use the plugs because a lot of the times I'm gonna be catching or releasing. I don't like to keep that many striper, but like I said at the beginning of this video, if I catch a keeper, it's going home with me today. And when you're bait fishing, a lot of times it's hooked too deep for the fish to survive, so it's a good opportunity to throw some bait out there. I'm gonna be keeping some fish as long as it's of legal size. And another reason why I use a bait is when I got here this morning, super low tide. I think it was a negative tide this morning, and it's still pretty low right now. I think high tide is probably in, I wanna say like 4 hours, something like that. So we're on the come up, but it's still really low. So a lot of times when it's low tide, bait fishing is the way to go. Once the tide gets higher, I might switch it up. Maybe I'll throw some plugs later in the day, but I think right now bait's gonna be the ticket. So anyway, enough talking. Let's get my sand crab in there. See if we can find us a striper. All right, let's go.
I feel like I got a crab on here. Another species to add to this video. Fortunately, that's not really a legal catch, so I don't think you can count that one. Let her go off. The sand crab was not working. Usually that's my go-to. So if the sand crab's not working, I'd say the chances of a fish being in here are fairly low. But I had to do it. I have to break this out just on the off chance that maybe they're interested in hitting a plug and not a sand crab. So let's toss this in. I'm gonna work this hole all the way from the right side all the way to the left here and back. That'll probably take me, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if I'm being super thorough. And if that doesn't work, we'll head to another beach. But let's give this a shot, see if there's any fish in here. There we go, there's a fish. There's a fish. I got him. I got him. The trusty plug coming through. The plug. Sand crab wasn't getting it done, but the plug coming through. Trying to keep the pressure on here. Yep, there he goes. He's literally swimming up to shore. Thank you, did all the hard work for me. Perfect eater too. Beauty. Beauty, perfect eater size. So striped bass in California need to be 18 inches in order to keep. I think this is gonna be like 19, 20, maybe bigger, 21. Perfect eating size. Kind of skinny. Not as fat as some of the other ones I've caught so far this year, but no matter, he's going home with us. Throw him in the perch pouch.
All right, finally we're on the board. Look at that striped bass, kind of a interesting looking fish. The lines are definitely not straight, and it's got a decent sized scar on the back there. Definitely healed over, probably from a long time ago, but anyway, there he is. Nailed him on the back hook of this hydro minnow. This is, if you haven't watched a video of mine before anyway, this is becoming my new favorite lure to toss out here in the surf. Been getting it done. That's quite a few. That might be the 4th or 5th fish I've caught on it so far this year. And trying to figure out where that scar came from. It's definitely from a long time ago, and it's not, I don't think it's from a bird. Sometimes you'll get like birds will come in with their beak clamped on them, especially when they're smaller, not this big, but you know, it's imagining when it's smaller. But there's no real scar on this side, so I think it's just a one-sided, just like a gash there. I don't know, could have been from anything. All right, so we bonked him, and now we're just gonna take our snips right here and clip the gills. What that's gonna do is allow it to bleed out, and that's gonna make the quality of the meat a million times better. You fillet a bled fish next to a non-bled fish, you can just tell there's so much more blood on that non-bled fish. But anyway, let me go wash them off again, and then we'll fill up the pouch. So I know this is not the original purpose of the perch pouch. Obviously it's not a perch, but either way, this is going to help. So one of the benefits of this pouch, I think the main reason for designing it is so that you can have it on you at all times. And when you're out there casting in the hole, you know, if you're casting for perch using a grub or sand crab or really anything, you can just throw it right into the pouch quickly and get back to casting quickly, so that you don't waste as much time. Just slide them in like this. Nice thing about the pouch, especially with this striped bass, is with a normal plastic bag, this dorsal fins, these fins right here, super sharp. And so because this pouch is made out of canvas or whatever this is, it's definitely not going to poke through, or at least it'll have a lot harder time poking through. Because I've had a few times where I put them in the bag and then I'm kind of carrying it next to me, swinging it back and forth, and the dorsal fin will come out and stab me. And especially with these waders, you know, you don't want to get a hole in your wader, so it's perfect. You can see it's got these drain holes on the bottom here, so there's a little bit more blood coming out. It's gonna just kind of seep out as the day goes on, but tail sticking out a little bit, but that's just okay. Perfect. All right. It's also got this nice Velcro at the top, so you can close it up. Your fish won't dry out that way. And then I can just go dip this in the water, and these drain holes right here will just, you know, water will flow through and keep that fish somewhat fresh. So I'm gonna go do that right now. We'll see if there's any more. I really only need one to take home. If I catch another one, great. If not, well, this is a success. All right, that's gonna wrap things up. We got what we came for. One nice striped bass to take home for dinner. And I'll leave a link down in the description for not only this lure, but also the perch pouch. And the one I have is actually the older model. There's a new and improved perch pouch now. So if you're looking to do some surf fishing and take home some either surf perch, striped bass, maybe even a small halibut might fit in here, we're impressed. Shout out Hook to Cook, you made a good little product there. Keeps your catch fresh and also keeps you fishing just that much quicker. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.